What is going on, y'all, and welcome back to the Average Homeowners YouTube channel. On today's video, I'm going to do a little bit of a thought and review video now that we're almost finished with the shop project. As you can see, we had some redos that had to happen, and I'll show you what those were. But I'm going to give my thoughts and insights on ductless AC units, because this has been an absolute challenge trying to get the AC right in the two rooms and the bathroom in the shop. And there are a lot of people who like to try and DIY things like this. I did half DIY, half call somebody in because they actually know what they're doing. So I'm going to give you my thoughts on the TOST or TOSOT ductless AC system, the challenges I had, the successes I had, and some of the lessons learned so that you don't make the same when you're doing a ductless AC unit. So let's get into it. Okay, so this is my outside compressor, and these are my lines coming from inside the shop. I had this wired for by my electrician. I went ahead and built a chase inside, which I'm going to show you in a second, ran the lines down through the wall before we insulated, and had everything out here. I wired up the unit, wired up my two inside units, so our setup here is going to be the one outside compressor, and then we have two inside units. I'll show you those right here. This is unit 1 in my office. This is unit 2 in the pool bar. Now, I ran them out, I wired them up. Then I had the AC company come out and hook up the actual AC lines to the lower part of the compressor unit so that we could have AC in the shop. Seems pretty simple, right? I also, if you remember from previous videos, used to have an 8-foot roll-up door here. Well, there's some problems with that as well. So let's get into the AC and go over some of those problems. So, when you're inside the pool bar here, you have all of this surround, and when you have a roll-up door, because it is a corrugated door that has ripples in it, you tend to lose a lot of air conditioning. Now, they do make flashing and different types of materials to help with that, but at the time I could not get the ACs to work right. I couldn't figure out what was going on, and I thought my only solution was going to be to add the sliding glass door to be able to seal this room up better. Now, hindsight 2020, adding the sliding glass door was one of the smartest things I ever did, because we have that amazing view that you just saw from inside the pool bar out to the pool. But let's go in here into the bathroom where I built the chase for the AC units, and let's talk a little bit about that. So you may ask yourself, why is there a giant hole cut in the ceiling here? Well, something you don't think about when you're just initially doing this, and hopefully you'll learn from this video, is I should have put an access panel here, because when we built, let me back up, I dropped the ceiling in the bathroom and built this chase. That way we could get both AC units lines. You can see the lines from my office there and the lines from the bar there. We wanted those lines to be able to come into the chase and drop down the wall and out to the condenser unit. You can see on this side, we've got the ductless AC for the bar, and through this door, we have the ductless AC for my office. And the only way to have somewhere to work on them was to build this chase. Now, when my drywall guy comes back out, I actually bought a 24 by 24 door, access panel that they're gonna put in there to make it easier to use. But I kept having an issue where this line was freezing up, but the AC in my office was working, and this line was cold, but we weren't getting any cold air into the bar. Now, what could cause this, you may ask? Well, let's step into the shop and look up at this AC unit. This one would get cold. It was working okay. Need to fix that fire alarm. Was working okay, but it was dripping water. There was a condensation issue. So I had the AC company come out, and they said, well, looks like it's just overcharged. There's too much in there. It's not the right amount of R410A. And I thought, well, that's weird, because it was installed by an AC company. So they did a couple of things. They checked the connections. They said, your connections are good. We lowered the R410A level, and then they said, you're good to go. Well, I had the one AC that was working 2 weeks later, still working sometimes, but freezing up, and the AC unit in the bar not working at all. So I had them come back out. They said, if you still have an issue, tell us, we'll come out, we'll figure it out. So we get looking at it, and I'm out there with the AC guy, and we're talking about it, and he said, these don't seem like they're talking to each other. And I said, well, it's a system. How would it know? He goes, well, there's a chance that whoever hooked it up wired interior unit A to A's electrical and interior unit B to B's electrical, but they did interior unit A to exterior unit B on the outside. And I thought, well, that doesn't make sense because don't they operate independently with the Freon or with the R410A? And he said, no, it's one continuous unit. So the disconnect was that I had wired them properly, or I mean, maybe not, but it looked properly to me based on what I told the AC company when they came out. But when they ran the lines, the fluid lines for the AC units, they actually ran them to the wrong ports. So A was getting a digital signal from A, but the lines were trying to steal compression from B. Needless to say, they weren't talking to each other and neither unit was working properly. So after about 45 minutes, the AC guy came back out, helped me figure out that all we had to do was really quickly rewire it and it should work. So that's what we did. We rewired it and now we have two wonderful working interior units that are keeping these rooms between 70 and 72 degrees. Now, just something to think about if you're doing a two interior unit system or multi-interior unit systems. This compressor can handle up to 4. You want to make sure that they're wired up and plumbed properly, or just hire an expert to do it from the beginning. But trying to save a little money and do a little DIY, I thought it would be just fine for me to do it, and turns out made a small mistake, ended up costing a couple $100s in fees for his time for the AC guy to come out, but in the end we got it right. Now let's talk about some of the things that I got right during this process, because there were some. Building the chase to be able to access it and not just dropping it straight into the wall was a strong move. That way both lines were coming out of the wall at the same spot and it was easy to do maintenance on and it's easy to take care of in the future. Number 2, I made the chase big enough that I could get a good drop for the condensation line. That way as it's taking the humidity out of these rooms, it's going to not back up into the system or freeze up, and it's going to have the drop necessary to get it outside. Gravity will take care of the rest. But all in all, this system, being able to manage it from my phone, keep the shop and my office cool, is one of the smartest things we've done, and doing it on a budget with the TOSOT system, TOSOT from Home Depot, really did work well. It was a budget system, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I just wanted to pop on here today, make a short video and give my review on pros and cons of the system, some of the struggles and successes that I've had with it. But I do think if you're looking to add something like that to your shop, your office, your outbuilding, a room in your house that just doesn't get enough AC, these are a great option and they do work really well. You're just gonna wanna make sure you clean your filters and leave some sort of access inside the wall. But yeah, I really appreciate y'all stopping by. Like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow and helps me continue to put out more videos on the Average Homeowners channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.